Dela writes, my MVVs, welcome. How Priestess Yemi Adeola reportedly, plotted with her clan, to replace Ebony with her daughter. Her daughter is said to be called Lady Adesewa Adeola. Yes, so now I'm going to tell you people more about this Priestess Yemi. Priestess Yemi is, one of the most powerful women with the Ogidigba Dynasty, or in the Ogidigba Dynasty, an ancient spiritual lineage that traces its priesthood back over 9 generations. Her voice carries enormous weight, not just within the sacred circles of Ogidigba, but also among other priestly families in Yoruba land. Known for her fearsome accuracy in prophecy and her ability to read destinies by mere eye contact, she's one of the few living women who can perform the rite that they call a forun rite, a ritual of revelation that exposes hidden betrayals and ancestral secrets. She is said to be the spiritual custodian of the Obonrin Lade Oracle, a sacred relic kept within a fortress like shrine depth inside the Ogidigba ancestral compound. Many elders call her the woman who sees both the moon and the shadows beneath. Now, Yemi has a daughter that is called Adesewa Adeola. They say she has 2 daughters. This one is her only biological daughter, and the other one they say is adopted. Adesewa Adeola is a reserved but stunning young woman in her late 20s. She completed her university education at the University of Glasgow in Scotland, where she studied international relations and peace studies. Those who know her describe her as calm as still water, but deep as the ocean. Adesewa was raised in the strict discipline of the Adeola priesthood, but was sent abroad by her mother at the age of 17, partly to shield her from the spiritual politics within the Ogidigba inner court. Despite living in the UK for years, she still carries an aura that people describe as mystically royal. She rarely appears in public, and when she does, her calmness commands attention. Why she wants to give her daughter to the Great Lion? According to close sources within the Ogidigba Dynasty, High Priestess Yemi Adeola believed that the destiny of her bloodline is tied to the throne of Ife. She reportedly received the revelation that a daughter from her womb would one day sit close to the Great Lion of Oduduwa and bring balance to the throne's spiritual turbulence. Recently, during a closed-door meeting of priestesses at the Ogidigba Sacred Conclave, Yemi Adeola was quoted as saying, "The wind have carried the jewel back, but the water still demand a daughter of Ogidigba. The lion's peace must be sealed through her." Now, this cryptic statement sparked rumor that she intends to offer Adesewa to the Great Lion, not in the casual sense of matchmaking, but as a part of a divine alignment ritual meant to stabilize the throne's spiritual equilibrium, especially after years of internal tension surrounding, the jewel's destiny with the Great Lion. So this happens to be the drama that has been going on in the palace, and they said all of this that is happening to Ebony is coming from her. She's the one who is shaking Ebony. She's the one who does not want Ebony to be stabilized, so that, at the end of the day, the Great Lion will push her out, and that way her daughter will have a chance to come inside the palace. They say behind spiritual symbolism, palace insiders suspect another layer, power and influence. If Adesewa becomes linked to the Great Lion, even symbolically, the Ogidigba Dynasty gains unprecedented proximity to the palace, effectively emerging two of the most powerful spiritual institutions in the Yoruba kingdom, the throne of Oduduwa and the Ogidigba dynasty and their oracle and all of that. But for this to happen, they said this cannot happen without one of the Ogidigba daughters dropping for the other one to come in. And unfortunately, the one that is the target now happens to be the stubborn one, because one of Ogidigba's daughter has sealed all the route for which they would have used to come against her, as in that happens to be Bloblo. You know that Bloblo for over a year now decided she wanted to stand by her husband. She's not fighting the Great Lion over the jewel anymore. She's supporting the Great Lion. As a matter of fact, she has turned to Oba's wife, the real Oba's wife, supporting everything that the Oba does, right? And so, however, not everyone supports this plan. Some elders reportedly warn that such a union might provoke unseen forces because the destiny of the jewel and the Great Lion is still active, and no woman, no matter how divinely groomed, can replace the jewel's place in the lion's heart. But this woman said that no, her own is not, her daughter is not going to replace the jewel. Her daughter is going to stand on her own as a wife. That opportunity that has been given to Ebony, that Ebony is throwing away. And instead of Ebony to throw away and ruin everything, her daughter has to come in. So while you know, the woman is saying that she has got nothing to do with what is happening between Ebony and the Great Lion, a lot of people that she has spoken to before are coming out to say, yes, this is exactly what she is trying to do. That they agree that she might just be the one that is ruining everything for Ebony because she has said that her daughter needs to get into the palace. Now, I will say again, you see how somebody will just carry their own hands and cause problems for themselves and cause ruins for themselves, because this is not something, this is happening because Ebony has allowed it. Ebony has allowed her jealousy, Ebony has allowed her envy to bring her this far. Even though the woman has come out to say she has nothing to do with what is happening between Ebony and the Great Lion, people are saying it's not true, that the woman is the one who is causing all of these problems. How can Ebony in her right senses come out and ask Kabiyesi for 500,000 pounds? How can Ebony in her right senses come out and ask Kabiyesi to share Oja? How can Ebony in her right senses come out and ask Kabiyesi to buy her? Yes, buying her a house in the UK is something that anybody can say, okay, yes, she could ask for that because that is where she lives and she lived there with Kabiyesi's son. But this money that they are calling now, they are believing that it was not Ebony. Like Ebony did not say that. That is this woman, priestess Adeola Yemi, that is doing all of this through Ebony, because Ebony took herself there. Ebony opened herself to her and she entered Ebony. And she is the one who is doing all of these things to get Ebony out. And this is the confusion that is ongoing right now. And they said she's not doing it alone. It's a plot from their own direct womb to push Ebony out so that their daughter can come in. But the thing is that, are they still going to use juju to force the Great Lion to take their daughter? Because it's one thing to push Ebony out. It's another thing to, you know, force the Great Lion to take their daughter. This is what is going on. If the information we are getting is correct, I'm going to bring you more update. I appreciate you. Do not forget, these are all alleged, rumored, unverified information making the rounds on social media. Should not be seen as fact. Okay. I love you guys, Dela Ram. I appreciate you guys, Dela Right. I love you so much. Thank you for always supporting this channel.